You've been told that life is a struggle to survive, that every instinct inside you fights for preservation, progress, and growth. But Freud uncovered something darker, a hidden force beneath the drive for life, a silent current that pulls you not toward survival, but toward dissolution, toward nothingness. This is Thanatos, the death drive, the unconscious urge to destroy, to repeat, to return to zero. And once you see it, you'll understand why humanity so often sabotages itself, why cycles of addiction feel inevitable, and why destruction sometimes feels almost comforting. The unseen twin. Freud once believed that all behavior was rooted in the pleasure principle, the desire to seek pleasure and avoid pain. But he began to notice patterns that broke this rule. Soldiers reliving trauma in recurring nightmares, addicts drawn back into destructive rituals they swore to escape, children repeating painful experiences in their play as if compelled by something beyond reason. Why would a mind return to suffering? Why repeat what wounds you? Freud realized there must be another force at work, a drive not toward pleasure, but toward repetition and destruction. He called it Thanatos, the death drive, the twin of Eros, the life instinct. If Eros builds, Thanatos dissolves. If Eros binds, Thanatos fractures, and the human psyche is caught in their eternal tension, the pull of nothingness. Imagine a river flowing back toward its source. Thanatos is that river within you, an urge to return to the stillness before birth, to the peace before existence. Freud described it as the pull toward an inorganic state, a wish not for chaos, but for the silence of non-being. And yet it rarely shows itself directly. Instead, it wears masks. Self-sabotage, when you destroy opportunities you longed for. Addiction, the cycle of seeking relief in what destroys you. Aggression, the projection of death drive outward through violence and destruction. Even humanity's obsession with war can be seen as Thanatos on a collective scale, an unconscious longing to tear down what Eros built. The cycle of repetition. Freud noticed a strange pattern. The death drive often appears through repetition, a compulsion to return, to relive, to circle back. You repeat toxic relationships. You return to thoughts that wound you. You reopen old scars just to feel them again. This is the psyche rehearsing its own undoing, an unconscious spiral toward the familiar embrace of entropy. And yet there is a paradox. The death drive is destructive, yes, but it also creates structure. Because through repetition, we shape habits. Through destruction, we make room for new creation. Even Thanatos, in its dark pull, becomes part of the rhythm of life. Ethical guardrails. Here is the danger. To romanticize Thanatos is to flirt with despair. To see destruction as destiny is to give up the responsibility of choice. Freud's insight is not an excuse for nihilism. It is a warning. When you notice self-sabotage, when you feel that pull toward destruction, recognize it not as truth, but as a drive, a force you can see, name, and redirect. Because Thanatos is not the enemy. It is a reminder of your freedom. That even in the face of destruction, you may choose creation. Transformation. So what do you do with this forbidden knowledge? First, notice the repetition. Where are you drawn to cycles of harm? Second, interrupt the spiral. Introduce consciousness where Thanatos works in shadow. And third, reclaim destruction as transformation. Let what must die, die. Not you, not your worth, but the patterns that no longer serve you, because the death drive will always be with you. But so will Eros, the instinct for life, love, and creation. And between the two lies the true work of being human, not to escape destruction, but to dance with it without surrendering to it. Freud revealed what most would rather ignore. that hidden within your desire to live is an equally ancient desire to end. But awareness is power. When you see the pull toward destruction, you are no longer blindly driven. You stand at the crossroads of Eros and Thanatos, and you choose which current to follow. And perhaps that is the essence of freedom itself. So let me ask you, where have you mistaken the death drive for fate? And what could be born if you refuse to follow it? If this exploration has stirred something in you, step further beyond the veil with us. Like, share, and subscribe for more journeys into the hidden depths of the psyche. Because only by facing what lurks in the shadows can you truly become whole.